Good afternoon. It's Tuesday, February 10th. And today, I'm going to give a bit of a tour of my game room. This has been my game room for the last couple of years. Before that, the game room was in what's supposed to be the bedroom of my condo. But there was a flood, everything had to be moved out. And when moving it back in, my wife Beth requested that we have an actual bedroom. And therefore the game room moved out into what's supposed to be the living room. And around that time, someone said, "Hey, can you do a tour of your game room?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll do that when I'm done setting it up." Well, it's been 2 years-ish, roughly, I don't know. And I never finished setting it up. I still was intending on getting more of the shelving that's over there for on top of this set of drawers. I was still intending to run a wire from here to here so that I can have a curtain that blocks off the rest of the house from the game room, because ultimately the original reason that I'd had it in the other room is because my refrigerator makes noise and it's annoying and you can sometimes pick it up. And so I've ultimately just the last couple of years decided with, oh well, sometimes there's a little bit of annoying background noise. It's not the end of the world, it's not what I like, but oh well. Today, Beth is working in office and working late. So one thing about my game room is when she works from home, it's also where her office is, right on the game table in the middle of the room. But she's not here right now, so easier to tour things. And I guess I will just turn the camera around. And I guess I will start with this center of the room. I have moved chairs out of the way to get around, but otherwise there are usually a few more chairs in here. This is the game table. Wormwood. Vaulted game table. I generally keep a build inside of it. Current one isn't for any game. It's in case I'm running a game and I just need something spontaneously. It's an environment I can make work for a lot of things. I like to keep kind of a generic one in there whenever I can, whenever I don't need it for a specific one. Blocked off by my wife's work setup is this side of the table. I only have the build roughly go halfway through. This side is where extra cup holders get stored. That's about it. The camera that is mounted to the ceiling, just sort of a conference camera that films the table, films that side easier, so that's why the build is over there. But that's in the middle of the table. The table is at an angle because the computer that I record from when doing my D&D videos is over here. And I get more length to the room going diagonal. Just working with too small of a space. I would rather it be straight up and down and have a camera straight ahead. It wouldn't get the weird, awkward spaces where people are sitting into like a little cubby where it comes down to an angle. Oh well. I'm hoping I'll be able to fix that with a house. Because, I don't know if I said it. The main reason I'm doing this video now, and instead of continuing to wait till I finish setting up the room, is I'm not going to finish setting up the room. We've got a storage unit. And we are going to be trying to sell the condo, buy a house. But stuff has to move out so we can get the place ready, and that means the game room is going to start getting torn down. So I'm going to document it now. But yeah, so back to where we were. This corner, where I record from, where I edit, unboxings, etc. All the filming setup, computer in the corner. Then just up, I have random stuff stored, including extra Dwarven Forge builds, my wife's dice box. She needs them all. This area where I was going to have more drawers for Dwarven Forge has become a place to stack boxes that I need to do unboxings of. I am blessed with many games and things that I have not even gotten to open yet. But that's where they're sitting until I get around to it. Then I have 2 Alex drawers. General cables and stuff, remotes, wires, all stuff to record. Random Dwarven Forge drawer, a lot of small bits. wooden bit Stormforge drawer, usually a lot fuller, but that one's taken up a lot of the pieces. Tudor Dwarven Forge. Fieldstone Dwarven Forge. Some castle bits, some window fills for cities, some graveyard stuff, extra cities bits for Dwarven Forge. Smaller board games. Magic the Gathering and like some mats. More smaller board games. On this side, I have random minis that have not been sorted anywhere. Sci-fi for Dwarven Forge. This is the Forbidden Temple. It's the snake themed dungeon Dwarven Forge stuff. Normal dungeon for Dwarven Forge. More normal dungeon for Dwarven Forge. And I should be getting more of that soon. Just random dice. Hellscape for Dwarven Forge. The Burrows, Dwarven Forge. And Dwarven Forge Imperial Streets. You may be thinking, Adam, that's a lot of Dwarven Forge. There's more. I'm blessed. Continuing on this side, I have a TV, which is basically used just for this cable, which goes under the table when I set up my tripod to do unboxings. It's how I see what the camera sees for unboxing. And below here is board games. A bunch of Hero Quest, some newer games, some games that I've never played, some games that are newer that we haven't gotten around to playing much, boxes of Magic the Gathering that's all in the middle of being organized, other nicer Magic the Gathering boxes, Invisible Sun is that dark cubby, more board games, just storage place of some random cards, books, pens, more of that over here, terrain trays stack right there, although a lot of them are currently in the table, because I just keep them underneath the build that's in there. But a lot of this is just kind of random junk kind of stuff on this end. Boxes of cables and cords. I have a box down there that's my outfit for the Ren Fair. Because it's just kind of storage, because we don't fit in this condo. Above all that is more bins. Many of these have, you guessed it, Dwarven Forge. But some of them also have like minis. They used to be rather organized. They're not. This one has a lot of banks for like forest and swamp. This one is mostly escarpments. These two are caverns. This has a bit more caverns. That has forest floors, trees, trees that are more spindly, miniatures, and then like random stuff that has some miniatures and some terrain. But these are all big chunky, either big miniatures or big terrain. Up here, I have a couple bins that are smaller terrain. Nope, still going. Still all terrain. Some of them are labeled. Here's one that is miscellaneous stuff that needs repair. Then I have some minis, beasts, undead, humanoids. I have constructs and dungeon inhabitants and some other random minis up there. Because above all these, I have this shelf that goes across the whole, this side of the wall. I have my, whatever, Batman, Gotham City Heroes board game that was just massive and daunting back there with, a few of our versions of Taylor Swift Life of a Showgirl in front of it, because they had to go somewhere. My Red Dragon, I have boxes that have, or binders that have playbills from us going to like musicals and shows and theaters. I have various boxes with just random, mostly minis, some terrain, a couple other big miniatures, and then extra like either like DVD or game, like video game storage. Again, we're just storing stuff in this place at this point. So it's partial game room, partial storage room. I want more space. But yeah, that's that side of the room. On this side, pretty simple. There is a sliding door, so there's a curtain in front of it, and then there are banners and stuff hanging in front of it to decorate it, and then in front of that are maps. I have a few different maps for a few different games that all kind of replace there. I have things to hang them up from the ceiling, so that I can just have whatever map for whatever game I am running currently just hanging behind me. And that's that side. And then on this side of the room, I think I'm going to come back to the front of the room and work my way back again. In front here, I have just the spot where I store my camera and light and some more stuff like extra Dwarven Forge that I need to unbox. I have a shelf at the bottom here that I can't really access that is just role-playing game books that either are duplicates or ones that I don't really know anything about. Back before the pandemic, my friendly local gaming store would once or twice a year do a gaming auction, and so I would often end up with extra books because I wanted to get one book in a lot from an auction, and it meant I got ones I didn't care about. But I kept a lot of them, so they're just there. I have my original Hero Quest game. Then I have another shelf of things I need to unbox. Again, how blessed am I? More things that I still haven't gotten around to opening. Some of which I've had for a couple of years. One of which I've had for almost a decade and just haven't gotten around. I have an idea for what I want to do for the unboxing video. I had that idea like 10 years ago. I've never gotten it done. And now the idea of opening it without doing it is sad. But it's also sad that I've never opened up that Monty Python Flux. Whatever. Then I have just sort of decorative things. I have my Harry Potter books, which have all been put in like different sleeves that I bought. Other books, little Doctor Who figures, some art books, more Harry Potter, Magic the Gathering, my wife's Cinderella little statuette. Then we get some board games, yay! They're all ones that are about this same size box, which is very convenient. Thank you, Wingspan and Like Games. Above it is some more board games, some miniatures, some empty board game boxes because there are expansions that the stuff is in. Kind of just storage. Moving over here. The bottom is extra shelf space continuing from this, but also a spot where there is a hole cut for me to have power coming out of the wall to run my camera with. This kind of is random storage where Daggerheart is kept, and it's because, at the very least, this special edition of Daggerheart kind of needs to be set flat instead of like all the other books. I have a shelf of my wife's books here. I have a shelf of mostly D&D adventures, starter sets, a few extra things, a fun little board game. Then we get our Doctor Who role-playing stuff. I don't know if I'll ever do role-playing in Doctor Who, but I've got stuff for it because I'm a fan of Doctor Who. And we have Monty Python, Avatar, Draw Steel. I do hope to get to play that at some point. VTM, over a couple different editions. Then board games again. Some fun ones. Some that I'm rather new that I'm loving. Some classics that I've loved for years. I have the mostly painted Reaper Bones ship up there with more stuff just stored on top of it. Again, back to the bottom. Whew. I have Pathfinder pawns. Before I collected miniatures, I collected pawns. And so those are still stored there. Every so often I still use them. I have a shelf with Lorcana, more board games that are in a smaller size box. These are lovely books that my wife and I got to be the like the table names at our wedding. And we just got a bunch of really pretty books for that. We have some more board games. And then the GURPS books, other random RPG books. Board game, kind of, I guess, expansions, small games, Catan. A random player's handbook got shoved here, apparently, because there was space. Warhammer, Iron Kingdoms, just more games. More Doctor Who role-playing over here for some reason. These are Pathfinder Pawn boxes that just have random stuff stored in them. More board games, more miniature. My wife's bouquet from the wedding. Up here, when I moved back from the flood, I just stuffed, like, you know, some of the bigger miniatures, some, like, knickknacks, some Disney Infinity, you know, figures, just got sort of shoved up there. They're not all even facing out. And I was like, I will organize that later. I haven't gotten around to that yet, and I don't think that I will now, because I'm going to start taking stuff off to go into storage so we can sell the place. Then we get into a lot more role-playing games. I got, you know, sort of in themes. Superhero role-playing, some modernish role-playing, and Star Wars role-playing. Some random stuff thrown in, but like 4th edition, Pathfinder. This is mostly 3rd and 3.5. We got older stuff right down here. I have a shelf where I just have an extra Dwarven Forge build and stuff going. And then extra just storage, extra DM screens, etc. just at the lower shelves. And then our last shelf here, try it, shoved in the corner. I have my Pathfinder flip mats and tiles at the very bottom, in case I need to access those during the game. Then I have these clear boxes that are like designed for like makeup storage, but are like super clear acrylic. They have a lot more miniatures, especially things that I might just need to access during a game. I have this little bitty narrow shelf for like storing a little dice box and like character sheets and just stuff that, again, I might need to access during a game. Here I have like a box with like the D&D creature cards, unfortunately for the 2014 edition, extra dice, miniatures for characters in the current game I'm running, more boxes of dice, more reference, like little reference books like the Herbalist Primer and such back there. Just, again, this shelf is my, I am a DM, I need to have things set up. It has my books for D&D 5e, which I primarily run, including some versions of stuff that I'm less using. And then also carrying on a bit up, we have the 2nd edition Pathfinder and Starfinder, some more like 5e books by third-party publishers that I'm not really using, but could if I needed to pull something out during a game. And then we get kind of some sci-fi stuff. We get more D&D books that are in sleeves and make them too tall to fit on the other shelf. Monty Cook games, Everyday Heroes, End of the World, and the older Starfinder stuff I have, followed by an actual little decorative shelf up there where I took some of the stuff from here. I was like, well, I'll make at least one shelf look nice. So, that's my game room. I am very grateful that I have it. I have a dedicated space to not only play games with my friends, but to film unboxings and just let it be my hobby. And yes, my wife uses the space for her office when she's working from home. And again, another thing, yeah, we want more space. But I've been grateful that we've been making it work while we have. And I look forward to having more space and a bigger, better game room, hopefully, once we have a house. But that will mean there will be a little time where I'm without one. And, you know, wherever we stay in the interim, I plan to bring some board games and quick things to be able to at least play and enjoy gaming. But I will miss having a dedicated space, but I look forward to building a new one. Yeah. So, that is the game room, and that's pretty much all today's vlog is. I'm gonna work on starting to figure out what to pack away from here and other rooms. We got a storage unit. We're just gonna have to start getting things moved, getting stuff out of the condo, clearing up space. We're not trying to do it super quick, because we'd still like a little more time while here to get to use the space. But things are going to start disappearing off the shelves. We're going to move. We've spoken to a realtor. We're moving forward with the process. We've been discussing it for more than a year, and at this point we are making steps to move forward and actually get out of here. Thank you for joining me. Join me as my journey continues.